Broadsword calling Danny boy.
Okay, YouTubers, this is Joe from ArtAlienTV. A real quick one here for you today. Another game of Interplanetary I Spy. We're back at the JPL website here, and we're looking at this image, which is from Sol 778, which was taken a few months back in 2014. Nothing going to blow your mind here, but there's one or two interesting artifacts in this image. So I've got it up in my graphics processor, and the part of the image we want to look at is right over here on this particular one on the right, just here. There's what looks like a shoe, and this actually appears in two or three images, I think. I've got them in here. I'll show it real quick. We'll keep this nice and short. Now here's another one of the same spot, which is one of the adjacent photographs, and on this one it appears on the left, center left of the image, just here. I'll zoom in for you. There he is. Doesn't look much when you look at it in this over compressed and grungy obfuscated image here, and there's also some other weird rock here which looks almost like a takeaway carton or something, which is rather strange. Probably nothing, who knows, just a weird rock perhaps. But I clipped out the shoe anyway. This has been sitting on my desktop for ages, this one. I'm a bit reluctant to do it really because it's a very poor quality image. As you can see when you zoom in, it's very blocky and blurred, and it's not a great image to work with. I looked it up on the Gigapan site, Sol 778, and it's not on there. So, and they tend to be better quality than these so-called raw images from NASA. But you know, if you blur it a little bit, you can get rid of some of this pixelation. So I've got an enhanced clip of it here. That's been blurred, and I've upped the contrast and white balanced it a little bit, so you can actually see a bit of definition now, and it's largely got rid of that pixelation. But it's never going to look sharp, because as with all of these, they're low-res images, 1.5 megapixels I think the mass cam is, so it's never going to be great. But luckily this isn't too far away, so there's a bit of detail, and there's a perfect round part to it here, with a lovely sort of shoe shape here. It curves around really nicely. Now, I don't know if this is a shoe. It may just be a rock that's shaped like a shoe, but with all the carved artifacts and bits of pottery and statues and artifacts that everyone's been finding, I thought, well, this could be carved. It may well be rock, but it may not be. I mean, if you lie in the dirt surrounded by rocks for thousands of years, you're going to kind of look like a rock, whatever you're made of, because you're going to be covered in that Martian dust. There's another enhanced clip. This is, I think, a raw clip. Yeah, that's a raw clip. That's completely raw, nothing done to this. As you can see the pixelation around it. So I haven't treated this at all. All I've done is crop it out of the image. So this actually appears in at least two photos. Here's that strange, upright sort of rock that looks a bit like a takeaway carton, like a Chinese takeaway carton. There's the raw clip of that. That's the raw one here. And this is the enhanced one, so you can see I haven't done much to that. So not a great deal to see here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip over to another thing that I found a while back that's been sitting on my desktop for ages. I'll quickly show you these enhancements. I've got a lot of clips here. I've outlined it there. You can see that it's got what looks like folded material on the back of it here, like a sort of leather material perhaps. So what I did is I did some proper enhancements, and I drew around it and highlighted it for you, so you can actually see it a little bit clearer. And there you go. It's got a lovely round part to it, and it looks like the back of a shoe kind of folded over here. Who knows? I mean, is it material? Is it rock? It could well be material. I have found items of clothing on Mars, a leather bag and boots and shoes. In fact, I've got quite a collection, so if you want to check out my here's another enhancement. If you want to check out my playlist, which is called Mars Alien, what's it called? Arms, Armour and Clothing, I think it's called, which has got a whole selection of things like this, like clothing, bits of clothing like shoes and boots and all sorts of stuff. So you may want to check that out. There's I think another raw clip. So yeah, I've got a double load of images for this because it's actually in two separate images taken slightly apart. and one was slightly better quality than the other. I can't remember which was which now. So there we go. It looks like a shoe. Maybe it is a shoe. I mean, there we go. I'll quickly show you this other thing I've got, because I wanted to clear this one up because it's been lying on my desktop for so long, and it wasn't. I didn't think it was really worth a really long video, this one. I'll just sort of quickly throw this one in. I'll show you the raw clip first, and then I'll just flick through quickly. Now, I think it's down the bottom here somewhere. I can't actually remember where it is. Oh dear. It's in this image, and it's from Sol 792. There it is, right here on the edge. Can you see this on the right here? Right on the edge of the image. And I think it appears in another image as well, which I think is this one. And it should be near the bottom. There we are. And there it's. This is the one I used because there was more of it, more space around it. And here it is. It looks like a bird skull. It's really odd. It really is very strange. And this looks like a beak on the right here, a pointy beak. This looks like an eye socket. This looks like a bit of a cheekbone here. And this looks like a bit of a skull. Now, this could be a rock. It could be a carving. It could just be a random thing. But it's got an eye socket and a beak. And I thought, well, it looks like a bird. So, and I have found other bird skulls. And this is completely raw. That's the source image. Let's get rid of that. I'll quickly flick through. There's the image clip. So that's completely raw again. Nothing done to that. I'll just flick through them so you can see it. And there we go. I've drawn around it and I've highlighted it just so it shows up better. I'll get in close. And there isn't, like with most of these images, they're very, very poor. The more recent mass cam images seem to have got worse and worse and worse in recent months, especially. Sort of the end of last year and this year. And the river just hasn't moved at all for months now. So I've been going over a lot of the older sets of images from earlier on. And there's still an awful lot to see in some of those older images. I mean, there are hundreds of thousands of images to go through. And I've been using the Gigapan a lot more, which is great. So I try and use the Gigapan now because the images tend to be slightly better quality. There we go. There's a raw clip further back. And then we get in closer. That's enhanced. There's the raw image. There we go. So what do you think? Is it a bird? Is it a plane? It looks like a beak and it looks like an eye socket. May not be, of course. It could just be a rock that's shaped like that. But the number of other things I've found, carved artifacts and skulls that I've found, is getting in the hundreds now, and lots of other people are finding them as well. And between us, we probably have thousands of these things. So it's getting to the point now where you've got to really start thinking that there was life on Mars at some point. And if you check out my recent video, Mars Explosion 1941, there may be an explanation as to what happened. So, okay, thank you for watching, everybody. I'll put just a couple of these clips in right at the end of the video so you can have another little look and you can sort of freeze frame them. Let's quickly go to that again. There's the shoe. Let's find the enhanced one. It's over here. There we go. Is it a shoe? Looks like a shoe. Is it leather? Is it rock? Could it be carved? It may not even be a shoe. It could be an oil lamp. It could be any number of things, really. But it certainly looks manufactured in shape because it is just a little bit too perfect. I mean, that curve there is absolutely spot on. So thanks for watching, everybody. Leave a comment below if you've got any other ideas what this might be. I'll see you soon.